Okay, in this video, we're going to look at degrees and radians, and then we're going to convert some degrees into radians. And then in a second video, we'll do the opposite. We'll convert radians into degrees. So let's look at this first of all. We've got a circle here, and if I asked you how many degrees are in a circle, you would probably, I hope, would say 360 degrees. Now, this is the unit you've been using throughout your career in maths. But I'm going to change this and say that 360 degrees, we can also say is the equivalent to 2 pi radians. This is just the way that mathematicians would rather think about the units in a circle. And it makes much more sense as you go into IB why I want to use 2 pi radians. For the time being, we're just going to say 360 degrees equals 2 pi radians. And what we can do is turn this into a ratio. So 360 degrees is 2 pi. If I divide both of those by 2, I get 180. The degrees is equal to pi radians. So what I'm going to do now is to convert some of these degrees into radians. I'm going to use this here, the 180 to pi. So I'm going to put that at the top here, and this is like the golden thing that you have to think about when you're doing all these conversions. 180 degrees is pi radians, like a ratio table. So for 30 degrees, we're going to start off with that ratio table, 180 pi. We're going to put 30 under here, and we're going to work out what we don't know at the moment. This is radians. So my radians are in the right and my degrees are on the left. I can do 180 times x, and it equals 30 times pi. So I want to know what x is, so I'm going to divide both sides by 180. So I can do this one in my head. I don't need my calculator for this one. 3 divided by 18 is 6. So the x is pi divided by 6. Now I'm going to do b and c a bit quicker. So I'm going to set this up the same way. 180 pi. 45 is a degree measure, so it goes here, and x is here. Now when I times these two, it gives me 180, 45 pi. So you can just jump down one line and say that x equals 45 pi times 180. So that's just missed out that first line there to save ourselves a bit of room and time. Now 45 divided by 180 is a quarter, or 45 is a quarter of 180. So this one ends up being x equals pi divided by 4. C, the same idea. We start off with our 180 pi, and then we take 240 here and our x here. So we end up with x equals 240 pi divided by 180. And this will then give me x is equal to, if I divide both of these by 6, I get 4 pi divided by 3. Now that was good. All of those I did without having to use a calculator. And you can pause this and have a look and see if, just to check the maths on each one. But for D, I've got a bit of a funny number here, 93. So I'm going to do the same thing. And all I need to do here is say that x equals 93 pi's over 180. And that's those two times together, so I divide by the 180. And this time I will have to get my calculator because I can't divide, there's nothing that divides into 93 and 180. So I just get my calculator and I just work this one out, and it comes out as 1.62 when I round it to 2 decimal places. So those first three were nice, but this one was slightly harder. Same technique, just needed a calculator.